Hi friends, today we are going to do a craft. Welcome to my thrifted home. Usually I thrift from estate sales and decorate, but today I'm going to use a thrifted item from an estate sale to decorate with after I flip it. Come along. Okay, don't mind that, that's where the cats eat, so you may see them come up here while I'm working because they just seem to do that. Whenever I'm in here, they decide it's time to come eat because they're silly that way. Probably not Lenny though, because he's a pretty good napper during the day, but Lexi, totally could see her doing that. So anyhow, here's the tree that I got at the estate sale. And I thought at first it was unfinished because it's white. And it does look like one of the little leaves or branches has been glued back on, but I can see glitter on it, which tells me it was this way. I just don't understand what's missing. I'm assuming these should have been little lights of some kind, but they were not attached, so I don't know if it's unfinished and that whoever started it just gave up before they added the lights, or if they all fell off. I don't know, but it's only $1, so I thought for $1 I could play with it. So my plan is, I have some Dixie Belle, and none of this is sponsored by anybody. Not by Dixie Belle, not by Mod Podge, nobody. It's just, this is the stuff I like to use. So I'm using Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral Paint Coffee Bean, but I'm gonna water it down and give this like a brown wash. I don't want it to be too dark, just kind of more like a primitive look. Then once I do that and it dries, then we're going to do the whole cinnamon with Mod Podge, so hopefully it will smell cinnamony to give it a more rustic look. And then when it's finished, my goal is I have, hopefully you can see it, these itty bitty tiny little bells. It kind of jingles, but it's really kind of hard to see. But it comes with this itty bitty little loop here, and I need to cut that off, and then I'm going to hot glue them into the spots where the holes are to cover it, so it should be covered by the time I'm finished and look primitive with a bunch of little bells on it. So then once it's all dry, if I hold it up, maybe it will jingle. I also think if it had the holes, maybe it was supposed to light up, but there's no place to put a cord. So we're going to just take it and make it into something else, hopefully better. Hopefully it won't be a brown poopy tree, but it will be a primitive cute tree. So we shall find out. Let's get started. So, oh, I should have got my paint thing. My little paint tray so I can mix some water with some of the Dixie Belle and get it a little bit runny to go over this. It does have glitter on it, but I don't care. It's just going to be more texture, so no worries to me. I mean, it just makes it more primitive, right? So we're going to use our Dixie Belle and into that. Ah! That was not what I wanted to do. This is why this table is for crafting, because I get stuff on it all the time that I don't mean to. And also why I'm wearing an apron, because I get stuff on myself and I don't mean to. So now we're going to add a little bit of water, because I want it to be more runny, like a wash. I'm thinking it might need a little bit more water. Yep, go ahead, we'll just fill the whole tray. Besides, I might need that much water by the time I'm done, who knows. And this little cup, I think it came from eBay, but I watched this girl on YouTube, and I can't even tell you because it's been so long ago that I watched her. And she liked to go places and paint. She'd pack up her little like paint kit that she would take with her on outside to do painting. And she had the cutest little container for water. I think hers was more fixed so it wouldn't spill and come off, but it made me thinking, you know, like when I'm going to do these things, why shouldn't the things I use bring me joy as well, not just have it be like a plain old cup or anything. So I found something pretty, and then this is porcelain, this little tray, and came off Amazon. So I was like, I'm just gonna have some fun. Okay, so it's kind of doing what I wanted to do because I didn't want to read all the way painted. I mean, I'm assuming that if I wanted it to read all the way painted, I would have to cover it a couple more times, but I don't. I just want it to be a wash to kind of give color to it, like that. And I don't care if it comes off, because the other aspect of it is that I'm going to, like I said, put the cinnamon on it and Mod Podge it, and that will also give it more color and texture. So here we go. Just keep painting it, and I guess it won't be poopy so much because it's not really so dark. It's more, well, this is a coffee stain type of paint. And if I had not watered it down, I'm sure it would have been thicker and covered more, but that is not what I want it to do. So hopefully this will come out like I see it in my head and be cool and not lame. Sometimes you just gotta experiment. That's the whole point of doing crafts, is see what you can come up with. Sometimes it's more successful than others. I gotta be careful, I'm getting paint everywhere. That's normal. Plus, hopefully by doing this too, it'll kind of cover where that crack was, especially when I do the part with the cinnamon. I wanted to show you a close-up. It doesn't really look gray, I mean brown, so much as it kind of looks like a grayish color, which is fine. I just wanted something to not make it white so that as I put the coffee on it, it will look better. So now we got to let it dry a bit and come back for step 2. Okay, it's been a little bit and this is dry. So now we're going to go on to step 2. And this is the part, I have never done this before, so it's going to be a learning experience. So I guess what it is you paint on the Mod Podge, which mine's getting about empty. Good thing I have another jar. And then you sprinkle on some cinnamon. And there we go, I wanted a little sprinkle. And then Mod Podge over it to kind of just layer it on and protect it. And I suppose when it's all finished, before I glue on the bells, I might put like a clear coat on it just to protect it. So let's get started and see what happens. Like I said, I haven't done this before, so this could be interesting. Hopefully it works like I've seen other people do. It'd be cool. I would like it to work out. I don't know about you, but I get visions in my head of ideas when I have craft ideas that I'm like, this is what I want it to be when I'm done. And sometimes it turns out, and sometimes not so much. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. So we shall see. Okay, so let's put on some cinnamon. Okay, and then I guess you're supposed to go back over the cinnamon with the Mod Podge. It smells really good. I don't know about you, but I love the smell of cinnamon. I think it's going well. Like I said, I'll know more when it's completely dry. But you want to work in sections. I don't know that I'm getting the cinnamon everywhere I wanted to get it, but it'll be all right. It gives it character. Okay, I can see where this is probably going to be messy. Oh well. Now we'll add another layer of Mod Podge and sprinkle in some more cinnamon. It smells amazing. I hope it retains some of that cinnamon smell when it's dry, because I love the smell of cinnamon. then you want to shake some of it off and then cover it with some more Mod Podge. Watch, this will turn out super cool, and I'll wish I had more trees. Oh well, I'll just keep my eyes open for them, because you never know what the estate sale is going to give you. Or I guess God is going to give me at the estate sale. That's how I like to view it. Okay, looks like we're down to about one little section here. And then we just have to let it dry. And then we can add the fun part, the little bells. Woo! Gotta make sure I get all, there we go. Make sure I get all of my tree, the base and the boughs. Usually what I do when I craft is I put on murder podcasts, true crime. I really like true crime. I'm not sure why. I think it all started with way back when I read my first Anne Rule book, and she is an author out of Seattle. Sadly, she's passed away, but she used to write a lot of true crime. She'd been a policewoman, but for whatever reason, it didn't quite work out for her to stay a policewoman. So she wrote for detective magazines, and that's how she earned her living. And then she eventually started writing true crime books. And the first one I read was Small Sacrifices, about Diane Downs. And she writes so well, and I was hooked on true crime after that. I don't know if I've read all of her books, but I've read a lot of them. And I guess her daughter, I believe it's Leslie, has written some books as well as some true crime books. So there we go. Okay, I think I gotta touch up where I held on to it, but I kind of want to give it just a little light dust. There we go. And I think this jar of Mod Podge is done. And now we let it dry again. So, I love cinnamon. But so far so good. It's looking like I wanted it to. So, now we'll see how it looks when it's dry. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a close-up of it. It's starting to dry, which is good, but it has that almost like a little rusty quality. And right now I'm working on these teeny tiny little bells, but you see how they have that little loop? And I'm trying to, if I can get this to focus, cut off the little loop so then I can glue it where the holes are, although some of them got covered up, but that's okay, I'll figure it out. And then there'll be little bells on the tree, and I think that will be cute. So we'll see how it turns out. All right, we are back for step 3. So I spent some time cutting the little hole loops off of the bells. So now I want to glue them, make sure my hot glue is hot enough, glue them on my tree. So I'm going to start with the holes that I can see really well. Okay, maybe. See there? Hope you can see that. I sent a picture to my daughter of the tree and asked how it looked, and I said, hopefully it doesn't look like poo. She goes, it looks a little bit like it. So I'm like, well, it's supposed to be vintage, and once I put the bells on, hopefully that will be better. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Only thing I hate about glue is it gets all those little spider webby stringy thingies. Hate those. Tell where the holes were on some of them. I did such a good job painting over it, so I might be improvising and just sticking some bells where I want them. It's my Christmas tree. I can do what I want. But there's a few more. What do you think? So we'll see how it goes from here. I think it's looking better. I'll be anxious to see what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, there it is. It's all done. What do you think? It's a little bit more brown than I wanted it to be, but I still really like it. It's very primitive. It's a primitive Christmas tree, and it does jingle. So there you go. What do you think? Well, there you go, friends. Thank you for joining me when I tried my little experiment here with this Christmas tree. It does smell cinnamony, so it still smells good, and I like it. And it's definitely primitive. I thought about putting it in my shop to see if there's any primitive lovers out there that would like to have it. What are your thoughts? Do I keep it, or should I put it in my shop? What would you like to see? Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great day and come back soon, and bye for now.